Hello again, Detroit. This is Aaliyah Moore. Yet again, Eastside with it. I am at Detroit International Academy of Young Women. I'm going to say that one again, y'all, because I have never heard of this school, y'all. Detroit International Academy of Young Women. So, School of Biomedical Science and Veterinarian Medicine. So this is where we at, Detroit. This is off of Charles Street. And this is still Eastside. Pretty much nice area. Never heard of it though. We off of Bloom and Charles, y'all. So I did hear about this school first when Dr. Nikolai Vitti. Oh, hey, just a little plug. They need some janitorial services over here at Detroit International Academy for Young Women. $16.10. So if you are interested, y'all see the sign. I'm gonna zoom in. If you need a job, call GDI. But back to this. This is another school that cannot sustain itself. They have Detroit. They have a total of 235 young ladies here that are going into biomedical science or veterinarian medicine. Beautiful. This is a K through 12 school, y'all. Dr. Nikolai Vitti, when proposing to the board, this is one of the schools that cannot sustain itself. They are currently only using 18% of this building. Dr. Vitti's recommendations to the board is to go from a K. They say my connection is slow, y'all. I hope it's not, and I hope y'all can hear me clearly. But the recommendations, I'm gonna make this quick, is that they go from K to 12 to 6 to 12, and then move the school and put it in a larger school.
Take the next left onto Monard Street, then turn right onto Garvin Street.
Hold on, y'all. I'm doing too much with my phone. But we gonna make it work, Detroit. Because I ain't come on the East for nothing. But no. And remember in a couple of videos before, I did mention that this can happen. Just like Frederick Douglass, it would be merged into, for example, Mumford. So this program of biomedical science and veterinarian would be merged into another school. So those are the two options for this school. I do want to say, I do remember in the conversation after Dr. Vitti presented these slides, board member Sherry Gay Danyogo mentioned the importance of this school, said that she had visited the school and just, thought it was a very unique and important experience.
Head west on Charles
and that
Street
we should, as a district, try to save it and keep it intact as much as possible. So, I'm not saying, I'm sorry for the noise, Detroit. I'm not saying that, in my opinion, merging a school with another school, it kind of loses its impact, People may forget it or it dissolves because it's not separate, which means it's not important enough and it's not sustainable to be able to hold its own. And, in the field of biomedical science and veterinarian medicine, it's important to see young women, let alone minority young ladies that are going in this field and really want to do this. I have a cousin right now. She's on her way to becoming a doctor, a pediatrician, and she's gonna do it. And she's almost done, And it's like more and more of our young girls, if given the opportunity, like I continue to use that example, if you're not given the opportunity, you don't know. I never knew about this school. So, I don't know if I did the numbers for this one, but in 2017, they had 313 girls. As of 23-24, they are at 235.
Your destination is on the left.
My GPS is on, y'all, so I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, but Yeah, they have 235 at this school. So, another school you all just to look out for as one of the 13 schools that cannot currently sustain themselves. Once again, which means that there's not enough students in this building. And, I don't know how many students are going to be here next Monday. But as of right now, there's not enough students in this building that can cover the operational costs to run the building on a day-to-day. So that is the full definition of a building that cannot sustain itself. And the district currently has 13 of them. So if you know any girls that are interested in biomedical science or going to be a veterinarian, let them know about this school, because enrollment helps. If we don't have the enrollment, it gets on this list it's currently on, and then decisions have to be made from the school board. Dr. Vitti can only recommend and put his recommendations out there and suggestions, but it is up to them to decide what they're going to do. Like I said, one board member spoke out already about the school. I don't know the other conversations that have been had about this school, but I mean, I never knew. Like I said, and as engaged as I am in Detroit Public Schools, never knew about this school. So it's also important to advertise. The district has an obligation to advertise, put the word out about these schools so that people can know about them, so the kids can know about them. Because if the interest is there, the kids are going to come. Before I get off, I'm going to look at the list. I think we down to 2 schools, Detroit. I think after that would be the full list of 13. And then I will actually post again the slides that gives you all the information about each one of these schools that we have to look out for. Shout out to the district over the weekend. They had a board member, Dr. Vaughn, this is her 3rd annual, I think, Pray Back to School. It was at Martin Luther King. I heard it was a very nice event. It just keeps growing, and that's a good thing, Prayer for people that are believers of whatever you believe in, tapping into that source for your babies and wishing them well. And a safe and productive school year is always good. So shout out to the district for that, as well as the revamping of this Let's Read. Lastly, if the Detroit does not know, the literacy lawsuit settlement for the $94 million, Let's Read was given $500,000 of that to offer stipends to volunteers. So I will post the new flyer. So far, we have recruited, the district told us in a meeting last week, over 700 people have signed up to volunteer since the revamp of Let's Read. So now it's just about selecting those volunteers, training them, and then getting them in these schools. So thank you, Detroit, for, being available, and the district coming together, listening to our recommendations about the flyer, putting the flyer out there, putting the word out there, and ultimately the board and Dr. Nikolai Vitti giving Shalonda Buckman, which is the superintendent of the FACE department, giving her $500,000 to work with this Let's Read program. So hopefully it will be a success. I will continue to be a Let's Read volunteer. And we'll see what happens, Detroit. But once again, I am running for school board. May the best 3 people out of 22 people that are, may the best people get those seats. And lastly, I keep saying lastly, y'all, but I keep coming up with stuff. I just want to send a support shout out to Jackson school board member Keisha Hamilton. She is going through some very disrespectful, demeaning, racist, sexist issues concerning their superintendent. She doesn't have the support of her own school board president to hold this man accountable. They do have their school board meeting tonight, Tuesday tonight, and hopefully there's a virtual option, but if not, I do send my support to her. Everything happens for a reason, and she is the right school board member. Sadly to say that she's the right one for this to happen to, because I'm not going to go into full detail, but the superintendent thought he was texting someone else, and text her and let her know basically that she was not competent to evaluate him, let alone know the English language. Very just demeaning. And this superintendent and others in that district have had some issues with bullying, intimidation, and so she is in for a fight. But her putting the word out, and this happened in July, and she just put the word out, and she did a live just thanking people for their support, because she is one of those examples of a true board member that holds herself accountable in the community, has children in the district, and just wants the best for those children in Jackson, Michigan. So I do send my support. If I do have any other information, I did share hers, but I will continue to share updates with that. But it's all about, being on the board, if you're on it, being accountable, but also knowing your role and, being able to look at the policies, procedures, come together with your board and hold the superintendent accountable. And that's the whole goal of the board, and that's the whole mission of the board. So I won't talk y'all ear off. It's kind of chilly out here, y'all. So I'm gonna look at this list. I think we down to 2 more schools. If they on the east, y'all gonna see me one more again, because I love y'all. I love the kids, and that's why I'm on the east with it. I'll see y'all in a minute.